Buddy the dog. What are you doing, pal? You still like this, don't you? Me, not so much. It's melted enough and refroze that this is as slick as can be right through here, and it looks like you're fine, but I've caught myself several times where I about fell. There goes Buddy. Probably going to get another crane. I think he's been eating them, but that's fine with me. But anyway, we got stuff we can do now finally, because this has finally arrived. The prodigal piece that I ordered a long time ago has finally made it. So we're gonna get started on that right after this. No, go home. Go wherever you belong, but don't come here. I don't need any more. I got enough. All right, welcome back. If you haven't seen my videos before, I'm Rouse the Oliver Man. Once again, not working on an Oliver, but my beloved John Deere that Grandpa bought new. I've had much trouble with this little gizmo. You see how it's all wet? It's been leaking, and that ain't no good for nobody. And so what it amounts to is it screws into where your load needle would go on your average Marvel Schebler carburetor. And this is like an electromagnet. And when you turn the key on, it pulls this open and lets fuel go on its way. And then when you shut it off, it closes so that it shuts off the fuel, so you don't get that dieseling effect. I don't know if you've been around gas engines enough to know, but sometimes when you get them hot and then you want to shut them off, turn the key off and it keeps going, and it won't quit. It just keeps putting along from the heat of combustion, which is how diesels work naturally. That's why they call it dieseling. The heat keeps the engine running. And a lot of people, I think, they think, well, if it does this all the time, every time before I shut it off, I'm just going to floor it, or I'm going to give it full throttle. I think that makes it worse, because you're actually loading everything up and then shutting it off. And, you know, you got to maybe tweak your settings a little bit, or your timing or whatever, or just live with it, and you can pull the choke and it kind of does the same thing. And sometimes it hiccups and then it'll run backwards for a second, but then it's done. But part of life. So their solution was use this thing. Now this is like the third one I think that's going to be put on in my lifetime at least, because the one before this one, was it the one before this one or two ago? This might be the fourth one. I remember Grandpa putting one on it years ago, because the one that was on it burst into flame when he turned the key on, and that wasn't very good. So he got that put out and got a different one, and they were always super duper expensive. I think when I bought this one, it was like $700, I want to say. It's terrible. And there also are two different styles of it, and this is the style I prefer, because it has the adjustable deal there where you can actually adjust your fuel flow in there, so it's like an adjustable load needle. The other one is just solid on the bottom, which probably wouldn't leak like this one's doing, but it is what it is. And if you got a carburetor problem, you can't compensate for anything other than just, you know, rebuilding the whole carburetor or whatever. So we're gonna get this one pulled out of there. And in theory, since the tank is lower than the tractor, or than the carburetor, because this tractor's got a fuel pump, it should not leak other than what's in the bowl. However, I'm thinking I'm wondering if it's created like a siphon on itself, and that's why it's dripping so much. Because I would think, as much as it's dripping, that, you know, a little bit overnight it would run the bowl dry, but maybe I'm wrong on that. I'm trying to get myself all set up here before we pull that out of there. You see there's a little sealing washer that comes with it, so we got to have that on there. And if nature's good to us, it will have the same size thread as what the other one did. All right. Let's puking that out of there. It's amazing how I can't see what I'm doing. Can't find the right angle. Now, you silly Willie, why won't you go in there, my friend? You're exactly the same as the old one, so there ain't no reason why. There we go. I just had to get a better view on it. That's nice. Any writing that was on that label is long gone. Now, we're going to hope that that stops our problem. It should, but if we've learned anything by now in life, it's that things never go our way. So, sure. It would be real handy to like have that dry so that, let's just use our glove. Flammable material on glove. That's no problem with that, right? It's kind of a bummer too, because this one doesn't look bad other than it's dirty. Maybe it was actually leaking out of that seam where they crimped it together, in which case there's nothing a guy could do. But I'm not surprised that I had to do this, because sometime, and I don't remember if that was on a video, I want to say it was in the summertime, I was using this and it totally died, and I could not get it started for anything. I took the carburetor off and I messed with everything. I had this thing off first because I suspected that it was the culprit, and I messed around with it, and I could hear the little plunger in there jiggling, and nothing was stuck, and it was just a constant battle. And I finally got the thing to run again, and it was way out of whack. I had to readjust that screw, and it's been fine ever since. But then, of course, when we started using it every day to feed, or slightly before that, it started with its leaking problem. And then that wasn't real handy because, like I said, I'm not so sure how much gas I've actually lost because of this. Look at that. How much you want to bet that a mouse stuck that kernel of corn in there thinking that he's gonna build him a nest? I hate to tell you, pal, but I'm gonna ruin your day here if I can get it out of there with something. Oh, the joys of, you know, nature. There's always something. What was I doing? I was trying to put the battery cable on. Then I saw that, and then I saw my hammer laying on the floorboard, so I had to move that. Now my glove's off. We gotta hear it run, because we're probably gonna have to adjust it if it doesn't run right. If it does run right, or even if it doesn't, we're gonna take a hay bale out with it, and that will give us a good way to test that and see what's what. So, here we go. I got the choke out part way, so now it's in. It might be need out a little bit, but we can try it and let it warm up, because it's not going to be accurate starting from freezing cold. So we might ought just go ahead and take our bale out. We could try to shut this off and see if it shuts immediately off. Will it start back up? Yep. Yeah, if it's to be believed, I think this other one was in farther. So if anything, it ought to be running rich, but like I said, it went totally out of whack the last time it messed up, so who knows. It's running pretty good. Now, what is happening here? Somebody has been here. Well, anyway, I wonder how much of that footage is usable. But as I was saying, we came up here and I found my snow shovel and regular shovel laying out here in the middle of the driveway. And so it would have to be a delivery driver because of the way that the tracks are, and it would have had to been from delivering that piece because that was the only thing that was on the porch. And it's been a time, because the other day I found, laying in the middle of the driveway down like halfway, I found this piece of plastic where obviously one of them ripped it off the underneath of their car and they just kept going. So I had it sitting out here where they could see it closer, but whatever. I mean, I guess they just helped themselves now. That's fine. I wouldn't mind for them to use the shovel and stuff, but leave it lay in the middle of the driveway? I mean, somebody else could have run over it or whatever. I'm not surprised by people anymore. So anyway, another thing, like, I'm puzzled at how this happened, because we decided the other day, you can't really tell on camera the amount of slope because the GoPro distorts it, but this is uphill here. So even if they drove in here, gravity should have helped them backwards, I would think, but I don't know. Whatever. Hopefully this weekend it's supposed to get up to 40 degrees, so hopefully that melts some of this away. And then one day I think it's supposed to rain, and that will really melt this away, because rain will make snow go away pretty quick. But then Monday and Tuesday I think it's supposed to be back down to like 4 or 5 degrees. Right now it's, I want to say it's probably around maybe 18, 19, 20 or so. This morning it was 2, and at 10 a.m. it was 7. So it's been a miserably cold day. At least the wind's died down now, because that, just a little bit of wind makes it so much worse. But anyway, we got to get moving, because I got other stuff that I got to get to here shortly. So far we ain't got no drip, and we're running good. It helps if I don't drop you down, but whoa. They still have part of a bale out there, so I could probably wait till tomorrow, but I think I'll go ahead and give them this one. They must not like that flavor. Maybe we need to just give them 2 and move the ring. At least today the ground is frozen solid, so we're probably going to spin on ice again, but we're not going to dig down in the mud and make a mess. Oh, she's light on the front, boys. Turn. I should probably go through the gate backwards, lest I lose my bale. Oh, that's an excellent job I did. I should probably refork that, because I don't think that's going to last very long. That's what I get for using the mirror instead of looking back. It's still not on there very good, but maybe it'll hang together for us. You're probably about to go crazy because the camera's getting shaky. I tell you, this camera is about to push me over the edge. I ordered some batteries for my old one, so I'm probably going to switch back to that one. That was the big issue with it, is the batteries wouldn't hold a charge, and you couldn't get them anymore from GoPro. They quit making them. So I found some Chinesium ones that hopefully will do the trick. I should probably give this camera one more shot and buy a couple new batteries for it and see if that doesn't fix the problem, because I think its main problem is it gets too hot, and then all the chaos ensues with the tie-dye and the psychedelic stuff. You would think when it's freezing cold outside it wouldn't get too hot, but whatever. What do I know? See, it's almost worse in a way when it refreezes because it's so rough. It can only go downhill from here. At least it's solid. And they wore off some of the snow over here, so we should get a little bit better traction. Let's put it up here somewhere. Give them a fresh spot to work in. This tractor picks up the ring better than the single fork, single spear, I should say. Come on, ooh, don't die. On there. I can fix that. And you're maybe wondering, why don't you just get out and move it? Well, because I'm lazy. I don't want to do that. I want to sit in my seat and make it happen. Get on there, you. closer with that one with the front fork, because I was having trouble getting them with this one, and they got flipped over a little bit, but it worked, so that's all we can hope for. Bit of snow makes it a lot worse. Oh boy, that bale. Because I'm over it. They're also all escaping again, so that ain't very good. Good enough. That in there if you want that. Hey! Move it! Hey! Come on! Hey! Hey! Move it! Come on! Get in there! Don't look at me like that. Come on! You know the way. Let's go. Move it! Come on! There. Look, there it is. I don't know what's so special about that one little wad compared to the totally identical bale that's out there, but sure. know what their deal was, but they were dead set on this little piece that fell off when I took the net wrap off. But whatever, they got 2 and a 4th bale out there, so they should be good. Buddy the dog, you finally show up after they all got out and I got them put back in by myself? You're slipping, man. No, they I think they're just getting tired of winter like I am. I tried to let them out today. I was gonna let them out and go do whatever they wanted, and they just would not go. Oh, now Buddy's trying to play. Yeah, that's fine. He likes to play with them. Sometimes they chase him and then he chases, you know, they go back and forth, especially with the donkeys. But whatever. Anyway, they wouldn't go, so we'll try again another day. And they can usually, like I said, when it's bad weather, they kind of stay to their home base. Well, so far this is doing good. Let's see if we can make it back to the shed. Night tractor. Hopefully when I come back to it the next time, it is dry as can be and there is no gas dripping, because that would be very sad if there was. But I think we got us something. Luckily that went down in price. It was only like 200 and something this time. I got it off the internet, but they had both styles on there, and I'd rather have the adjustable kind, because you just never know if you got to tweak it a little bit. But I think we can call this a success. Another thing crossed off our list on this tractor, which has a lot of things that need attention. I mean, it has had almost nothing done to it other than the motor overhauled by the dealer once when I was a kid, and they overhauled it and charged him as much as he paid for it new, and he was just practically furious with them because it was months. I mean, it took them like, it might have been a year that it was there, and they claimed they couldn't get parts and whatever, and then him hot around, and then it was just so much money, and but he loved this thing. I mean, it was his favorite, absolutely. So it was going to come back no matter what. But he said several times, I should have probably just let him have it, you know, and not paid the bill, you know, and like how they do, because he said another guy had taken his in. He complained about the bill, so they pulled it out on the lot and sold it. And, you know, I don't know. That's a long time ago. All those people that worked on it are probably dead, so whatever. I just know, I remember, the only thing I remember about that, it was frustrating when it came back. They had a bunch of stuff they didn't hook up again, like the linkages and stuff, and it was just one thing after another, kind of frustrating, but such is life, friends. He trained up a free mechanic who could work on stuff for him with no charge for the rest of his life, so it worked out for him. So yeah, and good news, I don't think that these are leaking. This side I was concerned about. It felt wet all the time, but I think that since it's gotten hot, that it's sealed up pretty good. And I thought maybe that would be the case, that, you know, it needed to just work itself in, but I think they're dry. So we might be in excellent shape. I got to get the plug out of the basement. I took that off again to paint it, and I forgot to put it back on. Then I could put that dust plug in there, and that would be good. And sometime when it's warm, we can pressure wash this back end off, and hopefully it'll stay green for a while, because this is a nasty mess. I bet it also needs rock shaft seals, but that's a bridge we can cross at some point. Probably won't be much fun, because it looks like you got to take the valve off to get to that one. This one, would probably ought to come off right like it is. And it's loose on there, so it probably would slide off. But we'll have to look on the parts film and see how that's made. If it's an O-ring or if it's an actual seal. But at any rate, little steps at a time to make her just a little bit more better. So hopefully all of this footage was usable, because we had a stretch there where the camera acted goofy and I didn't catch it in time. So I'm hoping that we got something we can work with, and that'll give you another day of footage in the miserable frozen tundra of winter. And so I'm going to call this one here. Thanks for watching. As always, if you enjoy my videos, give them a thumbs up. Leave a comment and tell me how dumb you think I am. Or if by some slim chance you liked it, say that. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.